after Van Dijk's performance, I didn't get to watch a lot of Matic and Ferdinand and John Terry a little bit more. Is Van Dijk the greatest?
Vidic.
What did I say? Matic.
Matic.
Vidic.
Yeah.
Is Van Dijk the greatest Premier League center back of all time?
Greatest
Display,
peak.
he was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, he also, and like
He
we
just
talked
looked
about this
so
earlier in our
calm.
podcasting careers here on Yanks Abroad, like the way he's changed his game as well.
Yeah.
As he noticed he's lost a half a step. I mean, he's still pretty rapid for a center back, but like even that one-on-one with Holland, like no panic. He got turned twice. Still was able to continue to move his
got
feet.
that arm up to put him off the shot.
He is incredible. Like,
Yeah, because everyone was hating on him. They're like, because people were tweeting it as a highlight, and they were like, "Oh, they let a lefty get on his left foot and get a clean shot away." There was nothing clean about that shot.
no, I mean, if Holland scores from there, he scores from there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do?
No, I thought Holland should have just long touched and sprinted after.
I thought
it.
that's what he was gonna do. I thought he was just gonna try and just go right around him because that was he probably had the pace on him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And also,
But-
Kelleher was not off his line fast enough at all.
so is Van Dijk the greatest center back in the Premier League?
If I could choose one player to have in their peak in center back, I would probably choose Van Dijk.
I once again, I
Honestly,
didn't get to watch those greats that people say are better, but watching Van Dijk, I can't
Well, like, here's the
imagine
thing, like,
watching someone who's
Terry and Ferdinand did it for 15 years and won multiple Premier Leagues. They were major parts of big England setups that obviously didn't do well, but like they're revered as
no, they're always
greats.
gonna prefer the English.
That's what the agenda is.
Yeah.
I mean, Van Dijk's peak is better than those guys. Also, like I think this is a big debate going on with the NBA now. Like athleticism is just at a different level now
Right.
than it was
That's
then.
true.
Like that was peak fitness and athleticism then.
Yeah.
What Van Dijk is now is now. Like we've gotten to a different point in sports science and nutrition and training. Like
Yeah.
these guys are built
true.
literally
Yeah.
built differently now.
Yeah.
That like the guy could be that size and that top heavy and still be that rapid is incredible.
And then my second thing is Kevin De Bruyne the greatest Premier League midfielder of all time.
Yeah. My only issue with the discussion is like Kevin De Bruyne is not a midfielder. He's a second striker. He's not a midfielder. Like you can't.
He does not.
He's
he
not a
does not
midfielder.
play that high.
He does.
He's so creative in picking up in so
100%.
many different
But
spaces.
he's a second striker the way like Mesut Ozil's not a midfielder. But Kevin De Bruyne is even less of a midfielder than Ozil was.
Lampard, I feel like, played kind of second striker E.
At times, but he also played deep at times. He was,
I think that's what Kevin does.
To box.
Like
No,
when they play,
the first
every
couple
now and
years
again they
at
play a
City, yes,
midfield
but
that has
not
Foden
anymore.
and De Bruyne in it, and De Bruyne is the deeper lying.
De Bruyne is the deeper lying sometimes in possession, but never out of possession.
Okay, well,
But that's
just
part
then.
of playing a midfield.
Yeah, no, it is.
I mean, like you can't compare him to like Lampard, Gerrard, Vieira, Keane. Like those guys play completely different positions.
Yeah,
I just think like
I think people like
there's a position that isn't defense, midfield, or attack that isn't really talked about, like De Bruyne, Ozil, even like not Bruno Fernandes is not in that conversation.
Yeah.
But Bruno Fernandes, like those guys, they kind of play like not even in the middle third of the park. Like they pick up spaces in the half space or wider. Like it's just not really the same position.
Yeah, I think people are just like so caught up on nostalgia and like you can't have like ball knowledge if you think the guy presently like I think we find this with LeBron and Jordan. Like I think eye test wise you can see LeBron's better than Jordan, but people don't want to say it because they're like, oh, you didn't know ball. Jordan
100%
was
agree.
like just because
But
Kevin De
Patrick
Bruyne is.
Vieira is the best midfielder in Premier League history.
It's funny I wasn't even gonna list him in the options.
Honestly, like you really should just go back and watch some Patrick Vieira. Like you would be absolutely blown away. Talk about peak athleticism at a time when like there wasn't.
I
peak
just find it
athleticism.
hard to believe that I would watch a Premier League midfielder that would wow me the way De Bruyne does.
Well, I mean, again, you're talking about a 6 versus a.
No, I understand. But like even his assist on the Stones goal, like there's very few players in the world who can be as precise
Corner
with that.
taken quickly at Anfield, not by Alexander Arnold.
No,
That's awesome.
Them two might have the only technique other than like Modric and Kroos to like that is a pinpoint ball that like
De
shouldn't
Bruyne
be
is the
taken
best
for
at that.
granted.
He is the best at that, maybe ever.
Yeah.
Other than Ozil, potentially.